Good morning, Mrs. Coryell's class.
Good morning, Mrs. Tom.
Today we were working on 3.5 ordering fractions. Can you guys put fractions in order?
Yes.
Oh, I bet you can. All right, fractions. We know there's lots of definitions for fractions. We're not going to talk about those. We're going to move on to number 2. Give me another name for this word.
Common denominator.
A like denominator and a common denominator are the same thing, right?
Yes.
And that's when we're comparing two or more, or when we have 2 or more denominators that are the same. Okay, cool. Order, you guys are probably good at that. Bubble method we're going to talk about in a second, so I'm just going to skip through that one, okay? All right, number 5 we're going to read together on the count of 3. On the count of 3, read this one together. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
To find a common denominator between 2 or more fractions, find a common multiple of LCM.
All right, so when we're looking at a couple of fractions, we need to first look at what part of the fraction.
Denominator.
We call that the Top Gun method. We light up the denominator because in Top Gun they light up that girl and that, remember I showed you the, okay. So we light up the denominator and we notice the denominators are what? And this, on number 6, the denominators are what?
The same.
They're 5 are the same. So do we need to use bubbles?
No.
Can you just compare 1/5 and 3/5 then?
Yes.
What's bigger, 1/5 or 3/5?
3/5.
3/5. So note it says you can compare fractions with the denominators are the same, right? Okay, Vivian, eyes up here. Number 7 though, so our original problem was 1/5 and 2/3, right?
Yes.
Are the denominators the same?
No.
No. So can you compare those fractions?
No.
No. What do we need to get?
The same denominator.
We need to get a common denominator, right? And a common denominator for 5 and 3 just happens to be what number?
15.
So I write the 15 here, I write the 15 here, I write my fraction bar, and I write my fraction bar, right? Now I need to figure out what the numerators are, yes? So I make these little things, what are these called?
Bubble.
And this is, we call this the bubble method, right? Because we need to figure out how do we get from 5 to 15? What do we do? Multiply by 3, right? And if I multiply the denominator by 3, I multiply the numerator by,
3.
what's 1 times 3?
3.
So I get 3/15, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now over here, I made another bubble, yes?
Yes.
How do I get from 3 to 15?
5.
And do I do the top and the bottom?
Yes.
What's 2 times 5?
10.
Oops, wrong spot. 2 times 5 is 10, right? So what's bigger, 3/15 or 10/15?
10/15.
So if 10/15 is bigger, what's bigger, 2/3 or 1/5?
2/3.
You guys cool with all that?
Yes.
Wait, why didn't I do a bubble on this one?
Because there's the same denominator.
Oh, and this one, they don't have the same denominator, so I did a bubble, right?
Yes.
How about like if you have like this one asks us to put the fractions in numerical order from like low to high, yes?
Yes.
Eyes are up here. What do you notice about this denominator, this denominator, this denominator, and this denominator? They're all different, right? But they all actually go into. So once we have a common denominator and we figure out the numerators, we can put them in order.
Yes.
You guys cool with all this?